Hello, hello everybody. Good morning to you all. My name is Zangief. I am of Street Fighter fame. As you can see, I'm here in my home of Mother Russia, in my own personal stage, for those of you who know who I am. Yes, I am going to be giving you your fantasy football's advice today, and we're going to do that in just a moment. I will welcome everybody in. Thank you for coming so much for this very special occasion on this Halloween day presentation of the Tinker Stinker Power Hour. Yes. Give me just one moment while I adjust some things here. Sorry, I'm a little bit late, folks. We had some technical issues. As you can see, we've got lots of ants going on back there. I'm not sure why that's going on or where that's come from. But anyway, welcome so much to the show here. I've never hosted a fantasy football show before, but I'm sure that it will be a lot of fun for you and for me as well. So let me load up a couple of things here and we'll get going. If you have questions, go ahead and put them down there in the comments and I'll get to them here as soon as possible. Okay, thank yous. All right, give me just one moment and I will load things up and get it all ready. Let's see here. Yes, let's do both those things because I need the informations up here for you. I'm not a fantasy tyrant. I don't have brain for the fantasy footballs. I have to have my notes. So I apologize in advance for that, but that's how we work here. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments and we will answer them here as soon as possible. Today I'm going to be going over lots of different things. I don't know what the hell's going on with all that crap back there. Let's see if I can get something fixed. Yes. We're going to go over lots of different topics such as streaming defenses, streaming kickers. We're going to talk about, well, I will answer your questions. We'll talk about weather. We'll talk about injury updates. I'm going to go over some bonus benches and bumps that were promised, but lots of technical issues over the weekend have made things very difficult here in the studio. So let me see if I can fix some of what's going on here. Okay, that looks a little better. Get that ant situation down there a little bit. Okay, so yes, welcome everybody that is here. If you have questions, of course, please leave them there in the comments section, and we will answer them right away as soon as possible here. So I do have, like I said, lots of different bonus things going on. Give me a second. Why is that not working? Whatever. It doesn't matter. I know what to do here. So bear with me a moment. Things are being very odd today. I'm not sure what's going on, if there's like full moon or what's happening, but it must be some Halloween spook thing going on here today. But it's all right. We will work through that. Yeah, good. So if you have questions and things, leave them there in the comments. I'm going to take a look and see if the comments are turning up elsewhere, because for some reason they're not turning up on this StreamYard broadcast here. Because usually we have people saying hello and give a comment. Someone write a comment, something, so I can see that if it shows up here. Just say fuck you, Zangief, or whatever you want to put. I don't give a crap. Just put something there so I can see and make sure that the comment there is working. If not, there we go. All right, now we're getting some things there. The Aurora Borealis is causing issues. Hello, thank you, a rush man. The tyrant is not here, but he is usually killing it. It is Zangief this morning who's going to be killing it for you and helping you crush your fantasy football league. All right, we're going to get into it in just a moment. I see that there is the usual cheers for 420 I'm glad to see that the comments are working. Thank you, everybody. Cheers for 420 from Mr. Gods Amongst Men, who I hear his name is Matt. Hello, Matt. Good to see you, sir. Here's the only problem here. The only problem that we have here is that I don't smoke the marijuana, so I am sorry about that. I got to keep in shape, But of course, being from Mother Russia, we have our own tradition. So this morning, instead, why is not green, it's yellow. I'm not sure why that's happening. That's very weird. But anyway, so this morning we do something a little bit different. Instead of the opening hit, we're going to take the opening shot of this vodka we have here. And for Halloween's, you can't even see that. It's very weird. The green screen is very, very powerful. I'm not sure why it's so weird with the StreamYard. I may need to find a different streaming service if it's going to be like this. I found ones that are a lot better, but that's okay. We'll just do with it. Nobody cares what it looks like. Everyone just wants the information. So here we go. Opening shot of vodka from my Mother Russia. Tradition for the morning. Once we get ready to watch sports, we always have a good shot of vodka to get the blood going. All right. So here we go. Good morning to you all. And bottoms up. Take a hit if you want now. That's okay. Da is good. It's good. All right. Thank you all for coming and showing up. I see that there is already a question here. Judy or Miss Inflex or Miss who? Miss America? I don't know. Already handcuffing Diggs and Allen. Oh, Moss, I'm guessing, because you talk about Diggs and Allen, who are on the Buffalo Bills, and Miss is almost like Moss. See, I understand enough English to try to figure that out, you see. So if I were going between the two today, I want to go with Moss, and the reason why is because Judy was complaining about ankle issues on Friday. Now that could as well be smoke and mirrors trying to trick the opposing team. But just in case, I like Moss. It's more solid. I think he's going to continue to get more and more work away from Devin Singletary and become the clear number one in that group there. So anyway, we will continue on here. Russian vodka is good. Very good. Monster for a rough night. Yes, well, sometimes you need that monster to wake you up in the morning. Eh? Thank you very much, sir, for that. And I like your build that you got going on there. Very good, very good. Keep it up. Keep it up, and one day you'll have a build just like Zongyev. Yes, yes. All right. I'll see you out there in the street fighting world. Okay. Let's see, Cooper or Judy in PPR. I'm going to say you got two people that are a little bit banged up, but I'm thinking with Cooper Rush throwing the ball. I'm not so hip on all the Dallas Cowboys today. I do, however, like CeeDee Lamb. You're going to continue to start him as you normally would. But I'm going to go with Judy, barely over Amari Cooper on this one. Thank you. All right, Sean, I hope that answers your question there. Cass, we got the San Francisco 49ers defense or Tennessee defense. That's good. That's a good choice there, I would say. I do, of course, like San Francisco, but I feel like that, and I do feel like that is a good matchup. And I don't feel like that Tennessee's matchup is very good. I think that Carson Wentz has gelled with his team enough to where he's throwing the ball at the consistent rate with Pittman and with T.Y. Hilton coming back. I think that could be very potent there and not so good for defense of Tennessee. I like San Francisco a bit better here with Fields playing so erratically. It makes it a lot easier to score fantasy football points on defense when the quarterback is throwing erratically. Okay, that is my answer for you, Cass. Go get the 49ers defense and start them this week. They're a very good start this week. Thank you, sir, for that. Brian Holler, Moss, Patterson, or Hibbert in flex. I guess you probably mean Herbert, which is fine. It's okay. And that's who I'm going to go with. I think, despite what I just said about the San Francisco defense playing up and taking down the passes from Mr. Fields, I do feel like that the 49ers can be susceptible to the run. And therefore, I do like Herbert this week. Thank you, sir. For what button do I push on my waiver string? Daniel Jones or Trey Lance? Well, for me, I would say go with Daniel Jones because Trey Lance is not even starting. Now, he'll most likely come in by halfway through the game if they're not winning by then. But as far as I'm concerned, Daniel Jones is while he's very volatile and hit and miss, I have to admit that I'm starting to warm up to his fantasy football production. Most weeks, he at least can get you something in the range of 20 to 25 fantasy points. And I think if you're suffering in the bye week, like if you have Lamar Jackson, then I think that would be a good route to go. All right, thank you. Zongiv, should I stick with Patrick with Judy back? All I have is Osborne, Shepard, Slayton. That's a good question. I personally would go with Shepard this week just because I know how much Danny Dimes loves him. And yes, I think that Judy could take a little bit away from Patrick. But I do think that Judy is not going to have quite the game that he normally would. So Patrick would be a good choice. And I did see that he was on the sleeper this week for the Fantasy Tyrants benches and bumps. Or as I should say, the Fantasy Vampire was the one handling that particular show. But I do say that I do like Patrick, but I think Shepard is good play this week, very much so. Thank you for question. Okay, George Gloss, Denver or of Cowboys? Wait, what? Denver or Cowboys defense today? I like Denver's defense. I think that Kirk Cousins and Vikings are good on the offense enough to where I would prefer to not face them if I can avoid it. And I like Denver's defense very much. Thank you. Bucks or 49ers defense this week? That's a little bit tougher because we know that the Tampa Bay Buccaneers are kind of hit and miss on the defense, but this week I think going up against New Orleans, I think that New Orleans can be, a bit potent. I'm a little bit worried about Winston. I'm sorry about the revenge game narrative there with Jameis Winston. I think that's something we can't ignore. I think that he's going to be throwing a lot. I think that there will be a lot of points scored. And so therefore, I like San Francisco's defense once again in what should be a lower scoring game against an erratic quarterback. Thank you so much for your questions there. So let's see. What else we get? Chris Kidd, good to see you, sir. Thank you and welcome to this crazy madness we call the Tinker Stinker Power Hour here live from Mother Russia. All right, thank you so much for your questions. Chris, you asked bench one, Darrell Williams, Chuba Hubbard, Damian Harris. If you had watched my benches and bumps, then you would know that I'm very big on Chuba Hubbard this week. I think that the coach Rule said that they're going to try to get him the ball more, and I believe it. I think it to be so. So I want to put that down as my pick there. I like some Chuba Hubbard this week. Sorry, I'm having some wardrobe malfunction. It's okay. We make our way through it. It's good. Woods or Waddle, says Chris. Another question here from Chris. Woods or Waddle? I think considering everything, Tua has that connection with Waddle. I am not a fan of either. To be honest, with the usage that Woods is getting, other than that one game where they wanted to prove to him that they still like him, God damn, my wristband is falling ill fair. It's okay. That's all right. No big deal. It's no big deal. All right. So Robert Woods, I can't get behind him too much. except for really good matchups. And I don't think this is good matchup. I think that Henderson has good game. I think Cup has good game, but Woods not so much. I don't think that. Yes, Vodka is great. Let's see, Waddle. I'm going to slightly lean toward Waddle this week, just because I think that they're going to need to score some points against the Bills, and that is Tua's man for sure. I like that. Okay, Shep or Williams. I'm going to guess you're saying Darrell Williams here. If we're talking about, yes, in flex position, Darrell Williams over Shep, I'm going to go that route. Let's see. Chris Kidd says, Lockett is another option. I still like Waddle this week. I don't trust what Lockett has going on with Geno there. I'm not a fan. Thank you so much, Cass, to answer your question. I like Darrell Williams this week. I think that that's going to be an interesting matchup with the Giants, and I think the Giants can be beat on the ground, and I like Williams. Okay, thank you so much for question. All right, we're going to move on to a couple of things here. I was trying to recover something that I had, but for some reason is not opening up. So we're going to do a little something different. I'm looking at injuries right now, and if you have specific players that you want to know injuries news about, then I'll let you know. But from what I'm looking at here, I'm going to go over just the players that we care about here. It appears, for personal reasons, that Calvin Ridley is going to be inactive for Week 8. I'm not sure what that's about. He's had other personal reasons before. Remember, he didn't make the trip to London. So he's got something going on there. Remember, this was an issue that was happening with Michael Thomas last year, where there was issues that were weird and we didn't know what was going on. And I'm fearing that happens with Calvin Ridley this week. So I think Gage is a good play. I think Patterson is a good play. I think Pitts is a very good play with Calvin Ridley out and inactive with personal problem. That just creeped up here. That's new this morning. So for all of you who have Calvin Ridley, go into your teams now and change him out, because he's not going to play due to personal reasons. So there we go. We know that Dawson Knox is out for a little while. I'm not sure how, maybe another week or so for the Bills. We're just going through all the major injuries here. Nothing, nothing major, or that's not major. Michael Gallup not expected to play today. He's going to play next week, they say. So for those of you who were hoping to get Michael Gallup back, go for that. If you have Schultz and you were worried about whether you start him or not, I say, start him up if you have him. Yes, I think that in the long run, he's someone that you should have sold. If you need to get someone else, if you're having a bye week issue, yes, you can get rid of him however you please. But honestly, I mean, yeah, he could be a start this week. I would actually start him now that Michael Gallup is not going to play. So we're going to continue on here with some injuries. I'm looking, like I said, at only injuries that are relevant to us as fantasy football players. And things are looking fairly well. Not everything is updated. Like I said, if you have questions about certain players, please let me know, and I will find you the answers as soon as possible as they come up. Let's see. As Corey Davis is inactive this week. He's got a hip injury. He's out for sure. So there's that. That's taken care of. And I don't see too much else. I have a few different sources, so don't worry. I'm not sticking with one. T.Y. Hilton is expected to play. Odell Beckham Jr. Should be a go for Week 8, they say. Now the exact whether they're going to start or not, the final word comes in about 15 minutes or so. So we'll get updates pouring in with that. Rob Gronkowski is game time decision this week. Brent Williams on the offensive line for 49ers expected to play, so that should help out Jimmy, and that should help out the run game as well. So Eli Mitchell might have a good game. Alex Collins will be playing this week. So if you have him for Seattle, you'll start him up. Devontae Parker expected to play. I still like Waddle there. Austin Eckler confirms that he's going to play Sunday, so don't worry about the Austin Eckler scare there. Jerry Jeudy has been activated. He's going to play. He still said that he had some soreness, though, in his ankle on Friday, so be careful with that. We haven't poured the beer yet. My goodness, we're getting way behind on that kind of thing, but I wanted to make sure to get some things out. Sterling Shepard is still listed as questionable, but likely going to play. Kenny Golladay and Saquon Barkley have been ruled out. But Shepard and Kadarius Toney both expected to return. So that's good news there. See, McLaurin's fine, no worries there. I'm not seeing much else that's of any concern to many people. And so everyone else that are people we already know, whether they've been put on injury report or not. Like I said, if you have specific questions about specific players, I will definitely answer them there. So let's go back here. We've got some questions here. Flex, Deontay Johnson, Cordero, or D'Ernest. I'm not big on D'Ernest Johnson. As long as Chubb is playing, then he's playing the same role D'Ernest is. So he's not the Hunt type guy. If you're looking at the Hunt type guy, you're looking at Felton. But I think that role is going to be split between Felton and D'Ernest Johnson. So really, I wouldn't start any of them. Now, as far as Cordero, you could go that route, but I do like Deontay Johnson. I think you always start him. I think that he's a stud, so to speak, and I really appreciate him, okay? Thank you so much for question. Waddle or Landry this week? I want to go with Landry because I know about the connections between Landry and Baker Mayfield's. I think that Baker Mayfield's and Landry have good connection. They've always had good connection. And now that Baker is back and Landry is back together, I think that that's going to be a good connection once again. Thank you so much for that question there. Cass, you've got Thielen, Higgins, or Fournette. I'm going to go with Thielen this week. Reasons why, because it's the fantasy fiesta of Dallas. Dallas Cowboys, you know, they're pretty easy to score fantasy points against, and I really like Thielen this year, unlike a lot of other people who've been saying that they don't like Thielen. I don't know why you say you don't like Thielen. He's been doing quite well. Is he the same as Justin Jefferson? No, he's not the same as Justin Jefferson, but he's pretty good. He's at least a good wide receiver too. All right, so I do like Thielen. Fournette is not bad, but his matchups no good. And in the Fantasy Tyrant talks about him on benches and bumps. Well, the Fantasy Vampire talks about him on benches and bumps. Go check that out. If you haven't seen the Halloween special for Fantasy Tyrant yet, go to the Fantasy Tyrant page and check that out. It's very good. You'll like it. It's a Halloween special hosted by the Fantasy Vampire, and I think you'll appreciate that. All right, Moss or Sharp? I'm going to stick with Moss. I like I like Moss on that one. I just like Moss. I think he's going to have a good week. I really do. All right, thank you for question. Okay, so we continue on, but before we do that, we're going to do the morning pour, which hasn't been done in a while since Fantasy Tyrant is on keto diet. As you could see, I don't need to go on diet, so I'm going to drink. All right, on his special occasion, I drink Dead Guy for Halloween. See, Dead Guy beer from Rogue Beer Companies. If you don't like it, you check it out. They're from Oregon, they're from the coast. So we're going to drink it. I'm going to drink it up. Here we go. A dead guy in your eye, everybody. I wish I had a better microphone to pick up ASMR of beer pour. Boy, that is big head. We'll let that calm down for just a minute. When you make monies like I do on a Street Fighter tournament circuit, you don't have to pour your own beer. So sorry, I'm not used to it. But anyway, oh boy, wrist cover come off. It's okay. It's all right. We'll continue on here. Thank you so much for showing up today, everybody. And yeah, we'll continue on here. Let's see. Okay, I just went over injuries. Again, if you have specific questions on specific players about their injury or whatever you want, put it down there in the comments and I will answer. Let's see. Here we go. Just a second now. There's crazy things I have to give people. Hold on, someone wants to chat. All right, I'm just telling someone to come into show. I can answer questions there. All right, because that's who I'm answering. I'm answering your questions right now. That's how it goes. All right, when we do show, we answer questions of people who come to show. You watch show, you get question answer. You don't watch show, you don't get your question answer. That's how it works. I'm sorry, but we're to be so tough. But on Sunday mornings, it's so busy. That's how we do it. Okay, thank you so much. All right, so let's take a quick drink of this beer here. Salud. Oh, yes. Yes. Da, so good. Thank you. Thank you all for coming to my program today. And if you have questions, please ask. I can answer anything that you've got here. All right. So we went over some injuries. We'll get back to that here in a little bit. But let's go over my streaming defenses and streaming kickers for the week. And the three streaming defenses I like. We'll start with the Seattle Seahawks. I do like them. They are they're at home this week, of course, with the 12th man. What is the 12s? The 12th man. Yes, they have the 12th man behind them this week. That will be buzzing in Trevor Lawrence's ear. I think at some point I accidentally called him Taylor Lawrence. I'm just really. Hold on. Yes, I think I made that mistake at some point. It's okay. You know what? We all make mistakes. I don't give a crap. He looks like Taylor Hanson, so I call him Taylor Lawrence sometimes, and I think that might have made its way into show. But that's okay because we all do that kind of thing. Okay, so Seattle Seahawks are playing Jacksonville this week, and Trevor Lawrence is not exactly. He hasn't grown into his position quite yet. He's definitely got some growing pains to work through. So I think that Seattle will definitely be able to take advantage of that, as Jacksonville is giving up third most fantasy points to opposing defenses. And at home, I really expect Seattle, who's been improving. They've gotten healthier. They've gotten better. Let's see. Hold on. Give me just a moment. I'm trying to get people in to show because they are asking about it. So please bear with me as I get more people into show. It's very weird. For some reason, people are having trouble finding the link to the show. I'm not sure why, but glad to see you there. Those are here. So, okay, we move on to other things. Again, if you have any questions, put them in comments there, and I will answer them as soon as I can. I've got, we went through the injuries. We've got a weather report thing here. Most games are pretty clear for the most part. There has been some scare about having some rain issues here and there, but it looks like all of that has cleared up. I'm looking specifically, though, at the Bills game, which says that it is very cloudy, but that chance of rain that was supposed to be there has subsided. So we will get a fair and honest game. All right. So all the wide receivers that you would normally start in that game, start them with confidence. No problems, no worries there. I still think there's going to be a lot of running. Slayton or Waddle. Oh, excuse me. Slayton or Waddle, asks Alejandro Mesa. Good question there, Mr. Alejandro. Nice to see you today. Let's see here. Go ahead and give me Waddle this week. I think that Sterling Shepard is playing, so I think that that's going to be Danny Dimes' main man. I think that I even think that Evan Ingram gets more attention than Slayton does this week. Just a feeling. All right. Thank you there for that question. I like Waddle a lot this week and this year. All right. So we move along now to other things. Like I said, we had streaming defenses. My first one that I talked about was the Seattle Seahawks. My second streaming defense this week is going to be the Vikings. I love Vikings against with no Dak. Now, if for some reason they say Dak is going to play, go ahead and say no to that. However, I do feel like Dak is not going to play. I feel like it's going to be Cooper Rush this week. And with Cooper Rush playing, I definitely like any defense playing against him. We saw how good that worked out last year, and that could work out again for us this year. I really do feel like, Cooper Rush is, a quarterback that's not, he's a backup, your traditional backup where, he doesn't play all the time, so he's not acclimated to everything in the NFL, and he tends to make mistakes. And those mistakes are going to lead to fantasy points for the Vikings defense this week. So stream them if you can. If you are stuck and you don't know who to stream, then I would say that's a good one. I also like the Chargers defense this week. I think that surprisingly, maybe to you, the New England Patriots are giving the ninth most fantasy points to opposing defenses. And a lot of this has to do with the growing pains of Mac Jones as he learns how to be an NFL quarterback. Now, he may be ahead of the game of people such as of Trevor Lawrence, but I do feel that he's still struggling here and there and against good defenses like the Chargers, who are very underrated, I believe. I think that they've had some bad luck games, but for the most part, the Chargers are a pretty good defense. They've had 2 weeks to prepare for this over the bye, and I think they're going to be ready. I like the Chargers as a streaming defense this week. So there you go. There's your three streaming defenses: the Seattle Seahawks, the Minnesota Vikings, and the Los Angeles Chargers. As far as the kickers go, I really am a fan of Chase McLaughlin this week. I know that gets said a lot here because, well, he does. He typically does well. He's had some bad weeks here and there, but this week against Pittsburgh, who's giving up the fourth most points to kickers. Now, we don't pay attention to that so much, but if you think about the way that they play, Pittsburgh's good at defending in the red zone, but they let people get down there, which means, hey, lots of kicks, right? There you go. I like Chase McLaughlin. He's accurate. He's only missed one kick this season. That's pretty damn accurate, if you ask me. And if you look at his kick, his range on the kicks here, he has 4 kicks over 50 yards, which is more than any other yardage point. So he's good for those 5-point kicks for sure. I do like Chase McLaughlin this week going up against Pittsburgh. Another kicker that I like this week is, I'll make sure you get his name right. So I don't want to tell you like a wrong name here. But anyway, it's Evan McPherson. And for some reason, I wanted to call him Kyle. I don't know why I wanted to call him Kyle, so I'm glad I made sure it was Evan. He's been playing well last couple of weeks against Detroit and Baltimore, and this week he gets New York Jets. And New York Jets, if you didn't know, are giving up the most fantasy football points to kickers. So there you go. I really like McPherson this week. He's available in 49 or 51% of fantasy leagues, so it's kind of a 50-50 if he's available, though. That's definitely someone that I would personally be picking up this week. Between him and Chase, I actually do like Evan McPherson just a little bit more this week. Okay, so I'm going to give you one more kicker here. And my other kicker that I like this week, if he is available, is, and I'm sorry, once again, I tried to get correct names. I make sure that I say them right because, it's my pride that I like. But Mr. Greg Joseph of the Minnesota Vikings, I like him a lot this week. He's kicking, of course, at home, which is in a dome. So that's good. Dallas Cowboys give up lots of fantasy points. However, I'm going to say this right now. Because of the fact that I think the defense will be able to handle Cooper Rush, they're not going to be needing to score as many touchdowns as maybe they would be customary to needing to score. So therefore, I do think that they'll be kicking more field goals than maybe they would be used to. And he's been on point so far this season. He's got at least 5 field goal attempts in each of the last 2 games there, and I think that he's going to have even, about that same around, I would say 3 or 4, maybe even 5 field goals this week. So I do like him as well. So there you go. There's 3 kickers and 3 defenses this week. Carolyn said something about my hair. Thank you very much. It's very classic Zangief look. I appreciate that you love it. All right? Thank you so much. Your question, however, Chenault or Robbie Anderson, I don't – no, I'm just kidding. It's fine. I don't mind it. It's a little bit difficult because both of them are difficult to predict. They can have good games or bad games, and it's hard to predict which is which. However, most of the time they're both having I would say that most of the time Chenault's having better games. But for some reason this week I like Robbie Anderson. I think that I have my reasons why. I have reason. Give me a second. Now, against the Atlanta Falcons, of course, giving up 7th most fantasy points to opposing wide receivers. But I think what they're going to do is try to key in on DJ Moore and try to blitz Sam Darnold. I think that Robbie Anderson is going to end up benefiting from this and getting more targets or more touches. Here's the thing: his target share has not been that bad. In the past 4 games, he had 11 targets, 7 targets, 11 targets, 9 targets. So he's getting the targets. The problem is he's not making the catches because Sam Darnold's been off. But I think they've been working on it this week. I think Robbie Anderson finally gets a good game. And so I would go that route today. I wouldn't start Robbie Anderson over like a top guy, but definitely against somebody against Chenault, I'm not concerned. Paul, I see there just came in. Gainwell is in your flex. Keep him there or go with Jacoby Myers or Odell Beckham. I think I like Gainwell there this week because without Miles Sanders, they're going to not only be handing ball off to him, but Gainwell does very good in passing game as well. Boston Scott will come in, and I'll talk about him a little bit later, but I do think that Gainwell is the guy there. And so I like Gainwell this week. Thank you for question. Nicholas Stafford, what about Eckler? You think I should play him, or do you think that he'll be on pitch count? I think you should play him if he starts for your team. If Eckler starts on his team, he starts on your team if you have him. That's how I feel. This whole idea of pitch counts on running backs, they talk about it, and a lot of times it's just coach speak. Sometimes it's true. You got to kind of look for the differences there. And from what I'm seeing this week, I don't see any problem with Eckler. Fire him up, okay? Thank you for question. So that covers pretty much everything except for my double deep danger dive of the week. I just talked about him, and that is Boston Scott, which I think is weird name that his name Boston Scott. I know a guy from where I come. His name is Moscow Michaela, but he has last name of Boogerov, and we don't know Boston Scott's last name. He's just Boston Scott. Okay, it's very weird. You'd think that there would be some sort of regulations in the NFL where we have to know his last name and not just his nickname of Boston Scott. What's very interesting, and I was looking this up because I wanted to find out and make sure. What's interesting about Boston Scott, a little known fact, he's not actually from Boston. He's from Baton Rouge, Louisiana. I'm not sure why they call him Boston Scott, but that's all right. Anyway, so I do, however, like him this week to take on role of running back over Sanders. I know that Gainwell is ahead of him in pecking order, but Gainwell's doing a lot more with the passing game than he is the running game. I think that it is going to be somewhat of a committee. And even though in the past the running backs have not been doing so well for the Eagles, there's definitely a commitment to the running game that Sirianni has been talking about switching to. And offensive coordinator Steichen also wants to commit to run. And if they're going to commit to run, then it's Boston Scott who will benefit. Now, he only got 7 carries last week, but he was basically, let's see, pardon me. He played 23 snaps compared to Gainwell, who had 35. So there you see, it's probably going to be closer to 50-50 this week with Gainwell handling running back works and Boston Scott handling the running back works and Gainwell in the pass game. I think it's going to end up being 50-50 on touches. Gainwell is going to do a little better because his touches will come as passes. So in PPR, he's going to be better off. But that doesn't mean that Boston Scott can't come in and do some work. Right now, Boston Scott is owned in only 18% of fantasy leagues. All right, and that is up from like 2% earlier this week. So but anyway, I think that he could be a double deep danger dive, a good DFS play this week. So there you go. My double deep danger dive of the week is Boston Scott. Thank you, Paul. Mr. Paul has good message for us today. Thanks and good luck to all the Tyrant followers. Yes, good luck to you all this week. We still got some time here. So if you have questions, please put them in there in the comments. We're going to get to the final injury updates here in just a moment. But before I do that, I want to say on behalf of the Tyrant and all of the characters that have come in this week, I want to say thank you so much to you all. Thank you for all of your support, for getting us up past 500 subscribers. Amazing. We're halfway to the 1,000 that we need to start actually bringing in some monies for this guy who works so hard. 16 hours a week, 16 hours a day, at least, doesn't make a dime off of it, just so that he could bring messages to you to help you out. Eventually, yes, he'd like it to be his job. And that's the eventual goal here. And that is why we ask for things like the Patreon, because yes, he is doing it for free and doesn't have a job right now. And so he's trying to make money the best way possible. So if you want to support the Fantasy Tyrant, go check out Patreon. If you do it today, you'll get entry into the Grandprize Giveaway, which will be drawn later on tonight. And the winner will be announced on the Tuesday morning show. Okay? So there you go. That's that information there. Information's for you. And we've got some other questions coming in here, so we're going to answer those. And then we'll get to the injury. I just wanted to say thank you to you all. And for those who want to support the Fantasy Tyrant, knowing that all this work that he does, where he loses so much sleep, it's ridiculous. His health sometimes is having problem because he doesn't get sleep because he wants to make sure that he can get this information to you and have a great show for everybody to see. And he works very hard on this, and applause to him. But mostly, thank you to all of you who support him in that, especially for those super freaks on Patreon who are giving a pledge It's not much. $5 a month. That's not a lot of money. $5. That's less than a trip to Starbucks for most people. So thank you so much, though, for your support on that. I appreciate it. We'll continue to bring you great fantasy football insight and advice and answer all your questions. We're going to get some more here in just a moment, but I got a shout out here from Mr. Matt. He says, thanks, bro. You're the man. Characters are freaking on point. Also, hit this guy up on Patreon, peeps. And good luck to y'all, except for Cass. I hope he shits the bed because he's my boy buddy in my league. Yes, there you go. Yes, little league mate trash talk. I like it here on the Tinker Stinker Power Hour. All right, so thank you so much for that. Also, from Carolyn, thank you. Or send thanks to Fantasy Tyrant. I know he busts his ass and knows his shit. Thank you so much for that as well. All right. And I will answer your question now. And it says you did say to go with Zer Lane with Dak out. Wait. I got here late, but did you say go with Zer Lane with Dak out? I could grab Nick Folk, McLaughlin, or Hawkins. I would actually pick up either Nick Folk or McLaughlin this week. I feel like they're going to need to catch up a little bit and make touchdowns with the Cowboys. So I'm actually liking Nick Folk or McLaughlin. You could go either way. I do happen to like Chase McLaughlin a lot this week, but Nick Folk is always a good choice. So you could go either way. All right? Pick your favorite. Flip a coin if you need to. I don't know. It doesn't matter what you do. You pick one of them, they're going to get you 10 to 12 points, okay? Thank you for question. Organ, no. I still stick with either Folk or McLaughlin. Thank you. Thank you there for Alejandro. Thank you, sir, for that. Champion. Oh, yes, there's Smack Tuck going here. Matt will learn someday. I nearly scored 200. That's a lot of points, I must admit. Very good job, Cass. None of us can spell early on Sunday mornings. Well, it's not so early for you. For some reason, my accent is turning Irish, and I don't know why. But whatever, it don't matter. Maybe I have too much to drink, a little too much vodka. It change accent, Okay, going with Sarah McLaughlin, kid, right? The eyes of angels will help you today. All right, the eyes of angels help you with that pick. I'm going to take a drink here. Again, if you have questions, put it there. We're about to go over those picks here. Oh. Yes. And if you didn't hear, happy Halloween to everybody out there, all right? If you have kids, be safe out there tonight. Take them out trick-or-treating. Don't deprive them of their childhood, but also make sure that they are safe, okay? And congratulations, says here from Carlos, who says, congratulations on reaching 500. Yes, we are over 500. To give you the most up-to-date number here is 507 current subscribers. We are more than halfway to the 1,000 that is the goal for this season. We want to get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of the season, and so it can kick off next year even better, bigger, more badass than even ever before. And if you thought that wasn't possible, just you wait, okay? Thank you so much, sir. All right. So now we're going to move on. Then we're going to look at all these beeps that are going on my phone, which are probably a lot of them are injury updates. So I will give you updates on injuries as they come in, okay? Okay, so here we go. Give me a second. So many thank yous and messages from people that like the shows, okay? All right. Parker back. What? Hold on. Let me look here. I'm getting what appears to be major news or possibly major news. Oh no, never mind. The Parker's back. That's all. That was expected. Sorry. No, I'm getting. Let's see. Oh, here's news. For game already happened, but Kyler Murray sprained his ankle, and according to Jay Glazer, it's legitimately sprained ankle, and that is a 1 to 2 week injury. So for those of you who are Kyler Murray owners, you're going to want to find somebody. Okay. As we said, for if you already missed it, Calvin Ridley is out. With personal problems. We're not sure what those personal problems are, but there it is. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much to Mr. Rushman. I'm not sure what your real name is, but Rushman, you were on earlier. You give me $5 pledge on Patreon. Thank you so much. We appreciate that. For all you will get an entry today into that drawing for a stitched jersey of the player of your choice. Thank you so much, sir. For those of you who want an entry into who want an entry into the Grandprize Giveaway, I can't speak. The Grand Prize Giveaway for the stitched jersey of a player of your choice. Go ahead and sign up on Patreon today, and it's not too late for you to do that. Okay. Let's see. For some reason, I'm not sure. Okay, I'm trying to get information. Start Burrow or Cousins full PPR, asks Kyle. Kyle, I like Cousins this week. If you take a look, if you will, at the benches and bumps this week, because I like. Excuse me. I got something in throat. Give me a second. I like Cousins this week. It is in benches and bumps. Tell you exactly why. I feel that the Dallas Cowboys are a fantasy fiesta, and that Cousins and Vikings will feast this week. The defense is for streaming. You must have missed that, Carlos. I told you it was Seattle Seahawks, the Minnesota Vikings, and Los Angeles Chargers this week. Pick your favorite. Pick your favorite. All right. Gibson, Chuba, or Sanders for the flex position. I like Chuba this week. I like Chuba Hubbard because they say they give him ball. They say that that the run game needs to be more explosive. Matt Rule was saying that they have a commitment to making the run game more explosive this week. All right, we have to believe what he's saying there. I like Chuba this week for barely over Sanders. I think Sanders will have good game too. But if you want to go with the more solid play, go Chuba. If you need the home run hit, go with Sanders. Okay, there's my answer for you. Thank you so much, Carlos. I believe that answers all those questions, and I'm looking right now to see if there's any injury updates that I did not give before. If you need specific injury updates, please let me know. Yes. The Cowboys quarterback Cooper Rush took the team reps in practice, and he will be starting, it says. It appears Austin Eckler has set himself in his own fantasy lineup. That would mean that he is starting this week. So give me just a moment as I look up. This is all legit. We've got breaking news here. It says so T.Y. Hilton is definitely active today. Thank you. So there we go. That's really all the updates other than what I said earlier. So like I said, if you have questions about specific players, you can put them there before we go. Kyle has got another question here. He says, Claypool or Higgins full PPR? I like Claypool this week. Higgins I'm having a little bit of problem with because he's going to have good games and he's going to have poor games. It's hard to tell right now what it's going to be until he starts to gel show whether he's going to gel more with Burrow or not. The way that I look at it is this. On games where they're likely going to be throwing a lot, I like Higgins. In games where it's going to mainly be Chase that's getting most of the attention because they can run it with Mixon, like in this game against the Jets, I would say that we sit Higgins against a team that's giving up the third least fantasy points to wide receivers. So that to me says we sit him, and we instead we start Claypool. Okay, I have a feeling about Claypool this week. Call it a hunch, but I do. I have a feeling. Maybe it's the vodka. I don't know, but I do have a feeling about him this week. So thank you. Samaje Perine or Dearness Johnson, I go Samaje Perine. I think that he's got more upside. I think that he's going to he for more time has shown that he's going to be a guy that is going to constantly get work in that offense, whether he's starting or not. I think it's a very good matchup this week against the worst team against the running, and that's the Jets. That's also why I don't like wide receivers there this week, because the Jets are just going to get run over by Mixon and by Perine. I like Perine this week. I'm not a big fan of Dearness Johnson unless Chubb is out. And since Chubb is playing, that's who I got to go with Samaje Perine. Thank you. And then, a Halloween question here. Snickers or Reese. I'm guessing you're saying a Reese's Peanut Butter Cup. And that is my choice. It's hard between the two. They're both very protein and peanut related, but I like the indulgence of the peanut butter cup. All right, call me typical, call me cliche, but that's what I like. Okay, Kyle, thank you so much for your question there. All right, so that's I think we're pretty much finished up here. I think we got everything pretty well covered. I want to thank you all for coming to the Tinker Stinker Power Hour and for supporting the Fantasy Tyrant. If you want to get any last-second entries into that giveaway for the stitched jersey of a player of your choice, go ahead and sign up on Patreon. There's a link below. Take a look. If you do so, you get one-on-one informations, one-on-one counseling for your fantasy teams every week with the Fantasy Tyrant, okay? So thank you so much for all of that. Please hit like, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already. We get to 1,000 by the end of this year, then I will be doing something so special for you, you won't even see it coming. You won't even know what's going to happen. All the little things that I'm doing with the giveaways and the free informations and the Fantasy Freak Appreciation Week will pale in comparison to what I do for you if we get to 1,000 subscribers before the end of the season. So keep subscribing, keep liking, keep playing. We will help you get better, and I hope that my informations and my help to help you crush your league this week. Okay? All right. Have a good day. Have a good football day. I love you all. Mwah. Love you all. And have a great day, good week, and